find. Glad to see that I could help make your life a bit easier. But have you ever thought of how I felt? You need to think about your behavior.
Okie dokie, boys and girls. Yes, the show Butch On Sports is on the air. I know, I know. Butch On Sports is on the air. Hey. I'm simply Butch, and as always, thanks for tuning in on this particular edition of Butch On Sports here. We'll take care of some sports news you can't get enough of, including we'll go over some brackets. Yes, the brackets for the men's basketball extravaganza starting this weekend. Also, the women's going to be starting up their dealings here as well here, and we'll kind of speak on that with Jen State of the two teams representative of Michigan, or the state of Michigan, I should say, in order for them to become women champions. And hey, we'll do our best here. We'll do our best in this abbreviated edition of Butcher on Sports, and try to get it right here. Let me get some sports news you can't get enough of here. Get you caught up here. The Detroit Lions announced that they have signed free agent Tommy Lee Lewis. And they also announced that today they are also re-signed free agent Marcus Cooper Sr. Those two moves for the Detroit Lions were made today, indeed, to strengthen up their particular roster. They will, I'm quite sure, make more moves, indeed, in order to get everything in flux when OTAs and all the other good stuff start to come into play in late April, early May, after the draft, of course, here. So hang on to your hats, boys and girls. Still, moves are going to be made for the Detroit Lions to improve that team to make it a playoff or a more competitive team that we'll watch in the years past there. Other sports news, University of the Detroit Mercy star Anton Davis is in the running for another major accolade there. He was tapped for the finalists of the Wayman Tisdale Award given to the National Freshman Player of the Year. Now, I think that's just lovely here, but when you have competition such as R.J. Barrett of Duke, I just mentioned Davis of Detroit Mercy, Kobe White of North Carolina, and Zion Williamson of Duke, good luck, Mr. Davis. Good luck indeed on that one there. Detroit Red Wings signed today center Chase Pearson to a 2-year deal of a entry-level contract. Contract will begin in the 2019-20 season. Pearson will sign an amateur tryout contract with the American League, the American Hockey League, Grand Rapids Griffins, and will join the Griffins later that particular week there in some extravaganza and some hoopla, and hopefully be able to play on that particular team and not be sent to Egypt or something here. Okay, and finally, the biggest news today in the metropolitan Detroit area, and for that matter, all Tiger fans, is that we're entering the final week of spring training. They have died some serious injuries, but over the past 2 days, the Detroit Tigers have grown very weary of Michael Fulmer, who kind of felt some pain in his elbow. MRI scans proved that he needed to have some surgery. That kind of surgery is Tommy John surgery there. He got a second opinion from the renowned known orthopedic surgeon as well. So that's two opinions headed for Michael Fulmer to go have Tommy John surgery. However, Michael Fulmer is headed for a third opinion, which means one thing and one thing only. He just wasn't in sync with the first two opinions there. Maybe he thinks he can continue to pitch. I don't know here, but right now, Michael Fulmer is going to be lost for the season for the Detroit Tigers due to Tommy John surgery, and that is a blow for the Detroit Tigers. We're trying to get it up and ready for the future notice. They say maybe they're not going to be competitive this year, maybe a little bit more competitive, but maybe not for standing to go for first place or playoff ramifications. If you're going to do something, get it fixed now. And I've said this over and over and over again in podcasts in years past and even down to the future. You know, when you know something is not right here, it's always good to do this on the off season because you can be further ahead when it comes down to getting back into the regular season flow of things here. My question is Michael Fulmer have not known that he's had problems physically before? He's had problems with his back. He has had problems with his knee. It kind of makes me sick to my stomach to know that some athletes know that they have some problems, and again, don't get it addressed during the off season there. So again, I'm kind of shaking my head here of the Michael Fulmer's decision making process there. Hopefully, it will be made in the best interest of him and his health, including for the Detroit Tigers as well. There, to waste time and effort on the players that basically is going to absolutely give you nothing is totally indignant in my point of view here. That's just it, plain and simple. Just plain and simple. I don't know, plain and simple. By the way, Detroit Tigers did lose to the Pittsburgh Pirates today in action, featured in exhibition play today there. NIT actions is going to happen starting today as well. There's some games is going to be kicking in, plus the end games. Okay, the end games are going to be taking place today, starting at 6:40 this afternoon or evening. Fairleigh Dickinson is going to be playing Prairie View A&M. That's going to be a 6:40 start. That particular winner is going to get a chance to do their thing in the dance of 64 teams. Also, the nightcap game will be Temple against Belmont there. So who knows? Who and my opinion. I mean, who cares really? Who cares? Who cares? I don't. Again, I don't understand. That end game, I can go along with it for a certain ride, but I can't there. Other games are going to be going on. NIT action will be starting off tonight. Of course, you can watch ESPN on that one. Let's come against Davidson, Hofstra against North Carolina State, Campbell against UNCG, and Dayton Flyers against the Colorado Buffalo there. Moo Boo. South Carolina State against the Texas Longhorn, San Diego against Memphis, Wright State and Clemson, Loyola Chicago and Creighton. Those will be the games to start the NIT dash. You can catch all those particulars again on ESPN, ESPN Plus, or the ESPN app if you want to see those particular games, or even interested in the NIT, which means not in tournament to me. Now, speaking of not in tournament or in tournament altogether there, I have gotten my sheet called the my brackets. I'm going to announce my picks for the brackets there. I'm going to start off in the East. Let me say this too, by the way here. Michigan State got jobbed, okay? They, in most cases they won the Big Ten. They will be sent out to maybe a further location. In saying that they're a better team. Maybe they're second ranked as far as Michigan's concerned. Michigan had a second seed, but they're in the West, being the loser. For and this is what I'm not going to get to here. Well, for some fans, say Michigan State ought to be popped out there, and I can understand their displeasure of being able to have the pick of the chick. Okay, but again, a lot of some of the Michigan State fans, and I've talked to them further. This is after this morning here. I don't know, to put down Gonzaga the way they some of the Michigan State fans have done there. That's just not pleasurable here. And also, before I go any further there, Michigan State head coach offered to pay for dinner for Iron Mountain, okay, as a gesture, because, again, Iron Mountain, if you did not see the state basketball championships on Saturday, traveling call was very controversial, which many feel that Iron Mountain was cost the particular game. And I did see it, and I said, I don't know if it cost the game or not there, but it was the wrong call. Iron Mountain should not have been penalized for that particular. And that's plain and simple. The state of Michigan got to get it together here. And I have nothing wrong because they do a whole lot of good things in the state of Michigan there. But some things I really feel that they need to step up their volume and including instead of excluding some certain volumes in the play. And one of the things that they need to do is a lot of state recruiting. That's including going up to the Upper Peninsula and as far as Southeast Michigan in recruiting coaches, or not coaches per se, but referees and officials. Okay, a lot of things in their picks and I look at them a lot there, such as their student council and whatnot. It's within that area between Lansing and whatnot in the midsection of the state, and I don't see not too many people in the downriver area or southern Michigan, or even for that matter in northern Michigan, on those particular councils. Okay, that's got to get fixed. Okay, that has to get fixed quick, fast, in a hurry there, and that means they got to get off their rear end and start visiting and start recruiting, or maybe come to the schools aware of the fact that yes, we have these councils available, or yes, we need officials. We're willing to train you, get you set, get you ready, and be able to make a little bit of change via you take it full-time, part-time, or lead into a particular career as an official, okay? Just get it right, get it together. Now, let's get into the tournament, the tournament here. Duke, number one here. Let's start off with the East there. Okay, and this is an end game of particular there. They got number 16. We don't know who they're gonna face, and I'm not gonna even gonna rest on that particular. Let's say Duke is gonna win, and they'll be in the round of 32. VCU versus UCF. They'll be playing, and they're 8 and 9 seed there. I'm going to say VCU will be playing Duke in that round of 32. Mississippi against Liberty. Mississippi will reign supreme in the 32 round, round 32 there, round of 32. Virginia, okay, Virginia, number 4, and that's Virginia Tech. We'll be playing St. Louis. I'm going to say Virginia Tech is going to win that one. Maryland against the winner of the Temple Belmont particular game there. They, well, I would say Maryland will be playing against LSU, who will be playing Yale, who is number 14. LSU ranked number 3 in the East. Number 7, Louisville will be playing Minnesota, and I'm going to say Louisville is going to win that one there. Of course, Michigan State's going to be a little bit Bradley, and if Michigan State got their stuff together, they'll be in that round of 32 playing against Louisville. That's going to be a tight one indeed there. Let's move on down there. Let's move on down to the West, okay? And Gonzaga, okay? They got some business to take care of because they got some in-game components to deal with here. Uh, we already mentioned Fairleigh Dickinson there, or the other Perry View. Whoever wins that, Gonzaga's going to win, and they're going to go to the round of 32. Syracuse and Baylor, that's an 8-9. Syracuse, I'm going to pick over Baylor. Number 5, Marquette against number 12, Murray State. I'm going to pick Murray State in the upset on that one there. I'm just so sorry. Florida State, ranked number 4, number 13, Vermont. Vermont's a pretty good doggone team, but Florida State's going to reign supreme. Yes. Buffalo. And they got in-game components with Arizona State and St. John's. I'm going to pick Buffalo, regardless of who wins their in-game there. They're going to come out in the seed of 32. Now, from that point on, and that's 6 and 11. Third seed Texas Tech will be playing Buffalo in that particular one because they're going to beat Northern Kentucky, which is the number 14 seed. Number 7, Nevada versus number 10, Florida. I'm going to pick Nevada in that one, of course, in the West. Number 2, Michigan will be playing Montana. Moving to Montana. No, not Michigan because they're going to win that particular one. Those are around the 32 on that side, the East and the West. Let's move over to the South. And my picks here for that one, Virginia and Gardner there. I'm going to say Virginia number 1 ranked in that particular South. That's who was picked. That's where I have problems with there because the way that distribution was there, that was totally indignant as well too. But what can I say? What can I say indeed? Ole Miss, or Mississippi, will be taking on Oklahoma. And I say Ole Miss will reign supreme in that one, so Virginia will be playing Ole Miss in the round of 32. Wisconsin was beat up very bad, ranked number 5, and Oregon ranked number 12. I'm going to pick Oregon in that particular one. Wisconsin's beat up pretty bad. Oregon's on a hot streak. Kansas State number 4, UC Irving number 13. I'm going to pick UC Irving to upset Kansas State. Villanova 6 versus St. Mary's. I'm going to pick Villanova. They're going to win. Purdue and Old Dominion's going to play. That's 3 and 14. Purdue reigns supreme in that one. Cincinnati and Iowa. I'm going to pick Cincinnati to beat Iowa in that particular game. Tennessee ranked 2 in the South, and Colgate 15. I'm going to pick Tennessee. Yes. Tennessee will go and move on. They'll play Cincinnati in that round of 32. Let's move on to the Midwest. Midwest got a lot of good stuff going on there. North Carolina, they're going to be playing Iona. Of course, I'm going to pick North Carolina in that one. Utah State ranked 8 and against number 9 Washington. Washington in an upset over Utah State. Auburn 5 against New Mexico. I like New Mexico there, but again, I'm going to pick Auburn to win. They'll move to the round of 32. Kansas 4 against Northeastern. I'm going to pick Kansas to move on in the round of 32 over Northeastern. That's 4 and 13. Iowa State 6 and Ohio State number 11. I'm picking Iowa State. Houston number 3 and Georgia State 14. That coach 2 years ago, I remember he danced and he broke his leg and he was hobbling around and whatnot. He's still dancing, but Houston's going to dance on him heavily in that first game there. Houston will move on to the round of 32. They'll play Iowa State, hopefully. Not definitive, but hopefully. Wofford against Seton Hall. I'm going to pick Seton Hall. Wofford is ranked 7. Seton Hall is number 10. I'm going to pick, again, Seton Hall. Seton Hall's on a little hot streak as well. Kentucky ranked 2nd. Abilene Christian, 15. I'm going to pick Kentucky to win over Abilene Christian there. So, with that saying, around the 16, I can go with the goodies here, and I'm going to just name it like that. I'm going to say the ones that's going to move on is going to be to the Elite Eight from the round of 16, from the round of 32. I'm going to pick Duke, Mississippi, LSU, and Michigan State. That is the East. I'm going to pick in the West, Gonzaga, Florida State, Buffalo, and Michigan in the West. So they'll move around in the round of Sweet 16. In the East, in the South, I should say, Virginia, Oregon, Purdue, Tennessee. They will move on to Sweet 16. North Carolina, and we're in the Midwest now. North Carolina, Kansas, Iowa State, and Kentucky will move on into Sweet 16. Those are my picks, boys and girls, here, not yours, okay? Now, when it's all said and done to the Elite Eight, and the Elite ADD, Duke and Michigan State is going to head on up there. And if Michigan State ain't got it together that day, they will never have it together at all. I'm going to pick Duke. I'm sorry. Duke, they are powerful, but if Michigan State does have the heart, they can beat Duke. But right now, on this board here, I'm going to pick Duke. We'll move down to the West there in Gonzaga and Michigan, okay? Gonzaga and Michigan will be playing there. I'm going to go for Gonzaga over Michigan there. I'm sorry. Michigan, if they're streaking real good there, they could beat, they could give Gonzaga a time that's 1 and 2, but I don't see it. Move on to the South. Oregon and Tennessee will be playing there, okay? That's what I'm going to say is what's going to happen. And I'm picking Oregon over Tennessee. Move on down to Kansas, okay? Kansas and Kentucky in the Elite Eight game there. I'm going to pick Kansas, okay? Now, when it gets down to the real nitty-gritty, the Final Four, I have Michigan State. Yes, I do have Michigan State. I said Duke. But I'm rooting for Michigan State. I just where it go. And I rescind my vote for Duke to beat Michigan State. They're more talented, but again, with the young kids, but again, Michigan State got the heart. They can beat Duke. Michigan State, Gonzaga, Kansas, and Oregon will be in the Final Four. I'm going to say between Michigan State and Gonzaga, who they feel they should have been playing all along, I'm going to pick Michigan State. Oregon, Kansas, because I don't think Kansas is dead. I'm going to pick Oregon, okay? So your two remaining, okay, is Michigan State against Oregon. And as much as I love you, I'm going to pick Oregon to take it all. That is my pick, okay? And again, we're all going to get our brackets busted somewhere down the line. Hopefully you don't get your bracket busted or anybody else get their bracket busted, but that's how I pick my brackets. I would love to know how your brackets are going to be coming on out there. So you can email me at simplybutch2, that's T-O-O at the end, not the number 2, but the T-O-O at the end on simplybutch2 at yahoo.com. Tell me who your Final Four are going to be. Tell me who your dark horse is going to be. Tell me who's going to reign supreme when it comes down to upsets. And it's going to be some. It's going to be a whole heck of a lot. I picked some myself. But again, it's going to happen. It's going to happen for the best of business there. NCAA did a pretty good job in those picks in dealing with who should be there. And I know some teams got snubbed. North Carolina State got snubbed. Michigan State got jobbed and should be in the West. You know, they're in it now. They're in it, and hopefully they can win it. So let's see what happens. All the hoopla is going to start Thursday at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. 12:30 will be the game time for majority of the games in all the divisions and whatnot there, except for maybe the West and the later games in the in the Midwest, of course, all the way down to maybe 1:30 in the morning on Friday, on Thursday. It'll get cut down a little bit on Saturday and Sunday when we get those Sweet 16s. Then we go next week to the Elite Eights, to the Final Fours. The stations to watch the game is CBS, TBS, TNT, True TV are the stations that you watch every single game that's going on, all of them. And if you want to see the end games per se, those will be on Wednesday and Tuesday tonight. That starts. I think True TV carries those end games or TNT. I'm not very sure. I apologize for not getting that information. Everything is in a rush and a hush here because of some news that we had to get today before we went on the air with this podcast about the Detroit Tigers. We got the tentative news at about 2:30 this afternoon until all the way up to the time we go on the air on the podcast. And I'm sorry to say, Michael Fulmer is going to probably have to go through Tommy John surgery. He's going to be lost to the Detroit Tigers for the rest of the year, although Michael Fulmer wants a third opinion on his arm and Tommy John surgery there. So that is not good for the Detroit Tigers at all. I know that's news that they do not want to receive. And I gave my little personal beef on that about Michael Fulmer and maybe other athletes who come in there not right and should have maybe taken care of business on the off season there. Again, it's an inconvenience to fans per se, but hopefully we wish Michael Fulmer well and getting himself together and doing what he need to do in order to get back in the competitive grace of playing some great baseball down the road a piece there. Butch On Sports is a presentation of Oh My Darling Productions there. I'm going to be out for a while here, at least a week. But you can catch me probably on Monday. Most likely on Monday. I'm going to say, yeah, you'll be able to catch me on Monday on the game. And next Tuesday, probably the day we'll do another podcast. Just saying. Okay? The game you can check on 95.1 The Eagle, which their website, by the way, is being brand new in the box. Because I looked at it the other day there. But there is a point where you can go to 95.1 The Eagle, WUPN, and get the volume and the radio broadcast of the game. That starts at 6 o'clock all the way to 8 o'clock. We'll do our online version around about 7 o'clock. I'll be on yours truly here about 6:40, 6:45 on that particular show to get my spiel. And maybe I'll talk on the brackets and some other sports news that you can't get enough of because baseball season is going to be in the grind starting next week here. Yes. Baseball is up and coming for all of us boys and girls. Check out the game. Check out me on Butch On Sports on Facebook. Give me a like, of course, if you can. Check the add-on out or go to Podomatic. Type in simplybuttoo.podomatic.com and other other formats such as Podbean for the game. Where you can Dave McKay and Katie, Mr. Russell. I call him Mr. Russell. And, of course, Scott Nason. Hey, have a great one, everybody there. Enjoy your time. Enjoy yourself. And do your thing. Wish me well on my upcoming endeavors there starting tomorrow. And, again, we'll check you out on Monday on the game there. Have a great one, boys and girls.